Read the following Grimm's fairy tale and answer questions 1 through 4. A merchant had done well at the fair. He had sold all of his wares and filled his money bag with gold and silver. He now wanted to make his way towards home and to be in his own house before nightfall. So he loaded his duffel bag with the money onto his horse and rode away. At noon, made a rest stop in a town. When he was about to continue on his way, a servant brought him his horse and said, "Sir, a nail is missing from the shoe on his left hind hoof." "Let it be," answered the merchant. "The shoe will certainly stay on for the 6 hours that I still have to ride. I'm in a hurry." That afternoon, when he dismounted once again and had his horse fed, a servant came into the inn and said, "Sir, a shoe is missing from your horse's left hind hoof. Shall I take him to the blacksmith?" "Let it be," answered the man. "The horse can manage for the few hours that I still have to ride. I'm in a hurry." He rode on, but before long the horse began to limp. It did not limp long before it began to stumble, and it did not stumble long before it fell down and broke a leg. The merchant had to leave the horse where it was and unbuckle the duffel bag, load it onto his shoulder, and walk home on foot, not arriving there until very late that night. All this bad luck, he said to himself, was caused by that cursed nail. Number 1. One possible way to express the theme of the story is A. Sometimes we need to listen to those who we don't think are that smart. B. Being in a hurry can cause many problems. C. Making sure all of your equipment is well taken care of. D. Life is full of uncertainties. Number 2. What would be a good title for the fairy tale? A. The servant. B. The nail. C. The merchant. D. The horse. Number 3. Which of the following sentences taken from the story is most important in developing the theme of the story? A. Quote, "So he packed his trunk with money on his horse and rode away." End quote. B. Quote, "A nail is wanting, sir, in the shoe of its left hind foot." End quote. C. Quote, "The horse can very well hold out for the couple of miles which remain. I am in haste." End quote. D. Quote, "The merchant was forced to leave the horse where it was and unbuckle the trunk, take it back, and go home on foot." End quote. Number 4. Which character is most important to the reader in understanding the theme of the story? A. The merchant. B. The stable boy. C. The horse. D. The trunk with the money in it. Read the following Aesop fable and answer question 5. One hot summer's day, a fox was strolling through an orchard till he came to a bunch of grapes just ripening on a vine which had been trained over a lofty branch. "Just the thing to quench my thirst," quoth he. Drawing back a few paces, he took a run and a jump and just missed the bunch. Turning round again with a 1, 2, 3, he jumped up, but with no greater success. Again and again he tried after the tempting morsel, but at last had to give it up, and walked away with his nose in the air, saying, "I am sure they are sour." Number 5. What is the theme of this fable? A. If at first you don't succeed, try again. B. Never give up on something you truly want. C. There is always a way to obtain what you desire most. D. It is easy to hate what you cannot have. Read the following Aesop fable and answer question 6. A man and his son were once going with their donkey to market. As they were walking along by its side, a countryman passed them and said, "You fools, what is a donkey for but to ride upon?" So the man put the boy on the donkey, and they went on their way. But soon they passed a group of men, one of whom said, "See that lazy youngster, he lets his father walk while he rides." So the man ordered his boy to get off and got on himself. But they hadn't gone far when they passed 2 women, one of whom said to the other, "Shame on that lazy lout to let his poor little son trudge along." Well, the man didn't know what to do, but at last he took his boy up before him on the donkey. By this time they had come to the town, and the passer-bys began to jeer and point at them. The man stopped and asked what they were scoffing at. The men said, "Aren't you ashamed of yourself for overloading that poor donkey of yours and your hulking son?" The man and boy got off and tried to think what to do. They thought and they thought, till at last they cut down a pole, tied the donkey's feet to it, and raised the pole and the donkey to their shoulders. They went along amid the laughter of all who met them till they came to Market Bridge, when the donkey, getting off of his feet loose, kicked out and caused the boy to drop his end of the pole. In the struggle, the donkey fell over the bridge, and his 4 feet being tied together, he was drowned. Number 6. What is the theme of the fable? A. Treat animals fairly. B. Always be concerned for other people before yourself. C. Be careful where you walk. D. If you try to please everyone, you may end up failing. Number 7. How is the theme best developed in the fable? A. By the narrator revealing the man's response each time some people made comments about him and his son. B. By the narrator revealing what the man did to be able to raise the donkey onto his and his son's shoulders. C. By having the young boy be made fun of by some men. D. By having the father be made fun of by some women. Read the following fable and answer questions 8 and 9. An old man and his wife lived in the house. They did not mind the mice. They did not care about the mice. The mice did what they wanted to do. They ran up and down the stairs. They went into all of the rooms. They were not afraid of anything. Nobody ever bothered them. Things went on this way for many years. The mice were very happy. They loved living in the house. Then one day, something happened. The man and his wife got a pet. The pet was a cat. Well, life suddenly changed for the mice. It was not a change for the better. The cat was very big and very clever. It moved quietly about. It did not make a sound. It moved very quickly. Then suddenly it jumped. It caught a mouse. Day after day, the cat caught mice. The mice were afraid all of the time. At last, a few mice said, "It is time to do something. Let us hold a meeting. All the mice must come. We will talk about the cat, and maybe we can think of a way to save ourselves." Then a young mouse spoke up. He said, "The problem is this. The cat is very quiet. We cannot tell where he is or when he is coming. But I have a plan. It's a very good plan. It will save us from the cat." All the mice sat up. They listened with great interest. "It's very simple," said the young mouse. "We must tie a bell around the cat's neck. When we hear the bell ring, we will know that the cat is near. Then we can run away. The cat will not catch us." "That's a great idea," shouted the mice. "The bell will tell us that the cat is near." The mice clapped their paws. They cried out, "We're saved! We're saved!" Then an old mouse stood up. "Excuse me, please," he said. "That sounds like a very fine plan. But before we clap and cheer, please tell me this. Which mouse will tie the bell on the cat?" The mice looked at each other. They were silent. No one said a word. You could not hear a mouse squeak. Number 8. What is the theme of the story? A. Slow and steady does the trick. B. Because what you recommend, you may be the one who does it. C. Some things are easier said than done. D. Dream big in order to accomplish great things. Number 9. Which sentence below best develops the theme of the story? A. They ran up and down the stairs. B. The man and his wife got a pet. The pet was a cat. C. Which mouse will tie the bell on the cat? D. You could hear a mouse squeak. Read the passage below and answer question 10. An oak that grew on the bank of a river was uprooted by a severe gale of wind and thrown across the stream. It fell among some reeds growing by the water and said to them, "How is it that you, who are so frail and slender, have managed to weather the storm, whereas I, with all of my strength, have been torn up by the roots and hurled into the river? You were stubborn, came the reply, and fought against the storm, which proved stronger than you. But we bow and yield to every breeze, and thus the gale passed harmlessly over our heads. Number 10. Which two words best represent the theme of the story? Refusal and objection. B. Constraint and unity. C. Colorful and resistance. D. Flexible and compromise.